Well, hello and welcome to I Love Gay today. And we are going back into the theatrical theater world in New York. And we're here with Marc Levine. How are you?
Good. How are you? Nice to see you. Hope
You
you and yours are doing well during these times that we are finding ourselves in.
We're doing the best we can. And yeah, now it's been almost like over 6 months. So, because I used to always at, all the events in New York, and you and I would see each other at all these various NGLCC and different mixers. And that's all been kind of put on hold for a little while.
It has, but thank you for doing this program. This is really great that you're doing this. It's very exciting.
It's just kind of evolved. We made it up as we went along, and here we are today. So
that's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, no, just the theater world, the world you're in, and part of it is just it's probably outside of just what we see in New York with restaurants. It's probably one of the hardest hit and one of the industries that's going to be going through the most change, I think, in the next year. And so, but you had a new production all simultaneously with that. But yeah, tell us a little bit about all that.
I know the craziest time to be trying to bring a new show to Broadway is the time, and Broadway's in its most unknown time, and what the future is of Broadway, nobody knows. But I saw this wonderful musical last summer presented at the Utah Valley University called Fly More Than You Fall. I fell in love with the music. I fell in love with the story, and came back to New York in January and decided to contact the writers. He's a TV writer, a wonderful gentleman by the name of Eric Holmes, and his lyricist writing partner Natsa Gray. And we met and we got along, and now I'm going to be the lead producer of a new musical.
Wow. And before we even go too far, let's let everybody kind of catch up and take a look at what of this musical.
Oh, cool.
Life is beautiful.
Life is beautiful. Don't ever think it's
not. Life is beautiful.
Oh, life is wonderful.
Life is beautiful. I just feel something is wrong. Because a lot of me doesn't get why we gotta be excessively aggressive just to come up as aggressive. But I know to grow, you show that you're not letting go. Never being proud, so your flow is obsessive. I want to this. I'll survive this. It's harder than me. I want to stay with you and be free. You got, don't let fear and madness bring you sadness. That's a lesson I've been taught. Keep your head up, keep on walking tall. Open up your mind and you might find that you can't fly more than you fall.
Oh, amazing. So yeah, not just but obviously you had plans. You had different plans for how that was going to go when you saw it in Utah and wanted to take it outside of that area. But where are you at now as far as are there any kind of fun things that you guys are going to try to do to be able to get that out there and in the public eye?
Yeah, well, we've been very lucky that the Paramount Theater in in Chicago had seen the show, and they also fell in love with it. And I had contacted them in January when I became officially involved, and they said that they wanted to try to develop it for their New Works program. We had been scheduled to go out there in the end of March to do a 29-hour workshop, which is basically over the course of 7 days working with a team in Chicago, our writers, reworking the script, bringing in new musicians, bringing in actors, and that at the end of 5 days, we would do a 2-day workshop for their supporters in Chicago, industry folk. But that got pushed aside when all this started happening. But what I said to them was, we're at home, we're doing Zoom calls, the world cannot stop. Yeah. It's certainly changing a lot, but let's develop this over Zoom. Let's have those same meetings that we would have had in person in a rehearsal space in Chicago, in Aurora, Illinois, and let's continue. So the director there of their musical program, this wonderful woman by the name of Amber Mack, who has the young daughter, her has a mother who survived cancer. Now, just to backtrack, this is a story about a young girl who wants to be a writer, and she wants to escape the small town world that she's living in. And when she goes to writing camp, the kids mock her. She's writing a story about a bird with no wings, very fantasy. And then the parents show up the next day and tell her that the mother has stage 4 cancer and need her to come home and spend the final summer with the mom. So it's about her journey to want to continue writing and all the battles she faces going through puberty and being kind of an outcast from the town. And it was great having Amber's voice on this story about a mother and daughter. So we've been working with them for the past 3 months to improve the script.
Yeah. So is the hope and the plan to be able to, if theaters start to open up again in 2021, to just be kind of go down that route?
Yeah, we've been approached by several. The original plan would have been that the Paramount Theater works with us, develops it, that we would have come back to New York and done an industry reading in Manhattan for regional theaters, for theater owners, for potential investors, producers. But obviously that's gotten changed. So redeveloping a musical under this time has changed also, to the fact now regional theaters have contacted us. We are contacting them. We are structuring the show so that it could have that small intimate feel of a Dear Evan Hansen, or with beautiful music and the emotional story of A Come From Away that really pulls you in, whether you're 8 or 80. Yeah. And the regional theaters are getting more and more familiar with the show. They've seen clips on YouTube. They've seen the revised script. They know, or they're starting to know, that when the theaters open, and theaters will be opening, regional theaters are putting game plans into place about when they're going to open. They will probably start opening. There are regional theaters scheduling shows now, figuring out what they're going to do. We hope to find a place on their calendar. Yeah. And as far as Broadway, Broadway will be back up and running soon. We are very fortunate that the Broadway League has committees working tirelessly to make sure that when theaters will only open when it is safe to do so. Yeah. For both the audience members and for creatives, for the actors, for the ushers, for the hundreds and thousands of people whose livelihood depends on Broadway coming back. Yeah. We are very lucky that we have the Broadway League working to make sure that we will be comfortable and safe in the theater.
No, I look forward to that, and so I look forward to, number one, being able to go back to my first Broadway show. My poor husband, he's a Broadway fiend, and he kept buying tickets for company and other things. He kept buying tickets, only to have everything kind of keep getting pushed off. So I told him, just hold off, don't keep, because it's too much of an emotional roller coaster.
I'm lucky enough to be on the producing team for Company, and it is a beautiful, beautiful production. I was involved with it in London, and I'm involved with it here in New York, and it's just, I know that it's going to be a show that people are going to continue to be excited to see when it comes back, when theaters open again,
No, I look forward to that. I just told him, hold off. Once we know for sure, then you can get off the emotional roller coaster, and we'll buy tickets and we'll go. So I'm looking forward to all that.
You're going to love it. It's a fun show.
And at that time, hopefully we'll be able to see yours as well, and we'll be in New York and be able to
I'm hoping by 2022, 23 that you'll be able to see, Fly More Than You Fall. I'm really gonna make an effort, and I have been making an effort with our creative team so far to tilt the needle of what Broadway should be and what it will be. We are this is a story about a mother-daughter. It's about a family. And I want the voices that are involved with the show, whether it's the director, future choreographer, future investors, producers, to reflect those voices and to open up the Broadway community to those voices who haven't been heard from in the past, that deserve to have a voice, that should have a voice, because Broadway should be and will be more reflective of the times we're living in and the times we've always lived in. And I look forward to doing what I can as a first-time lead producer who's, you know, crazy to be doing it in general, and even more crazy to be doing it at a time where I can't say to Pete, I can't give you a date for opening night. I would love nothing more, but I want that date to be when my parents will feel comfortable coming to a show and sitting there. The show is not going to open up until my mom and dad feel comfortable coming to that show.
I love that. Well, nope, I hear you, and I look forward to all this, and look forward to seeing you again.
Me too. Thank you
All right,
so much.
man.
It's been a lot of fun.
Thanks so much for being here. Take care now.
Thanks.
Feel